1848, first wave of feminism rolled through Europe and spread to Western countries. Women wanted autonomy. They wanted the rights guaranteed to men as individuals and human beings. Marches and protests were held, and when the suffrage of women reached the United States, the right to vote was high on the list. In July of 1919, the 19th Amendment was passed in Congress. For the following year, a wave rolled state to state through the U.S. to ratify the amendment. On August 18, 1920, the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution was ratified. 100 years later, the women of skydiving are training to celebrate the centennial in the air with the women's world record.
The Women's Skydiving Network approached Amy Shimalecki.
Amy and Sarah Curtis, the organizers of this record. Sarah, many of us still believe that we're years away from complete equality for women.
Yeah, one skydive can't change that, but it is the realization of a dream and going after what seems like an unattainable goal for many women who are going to be involved in this project. And I think that that's the important thing, is that you want to dream big, be brave, and go for what you want, and don't be scared. Our goal is to promote women leading brave lives. The 19th Amendment symbolized that happening for not just women in the US, but women worldwide.
Project 19 is a year-long project designed to teach women to fly head down in large groups. Chazzy Blackshear is one of 40 regional captains charged with training and mentoring women in small groups all over the world.
I have over 6,000 skydives now.
So when Amy contacted you, what did you think?
There was no way I wasn't going to be a part of this in whatever capacity possible. So when she said, can you be a regional captain, run some camps, be supportive, I was like, yeah, all in, I got this.
So what is phase one?
Because you don't want to just show up to a 50-way. So we're doing like 10 ways, 20 ways, like maybe 22 ways. If you're not used to leaving the plane 3 seconds before the base leaves the plane, you need practice at that. So that's what we're doing in the phase one, is just like smaller groups of practicing those moves that will then get longer as we add planes and people.
And phase two and phase three?
I would imagine phase two is gonna be your 40 ways, 2 plane shots for sure. And then phase three being the like 60, 80 ways, you know.
What's this amendment mean to you?
The 19th Amendment now means more to me than it ever did before, because I think I took a lot of women's rights for granted. Looking back at the history of the work that women had to do before me to even get the right to vote, I feel like the amendment doesn't stop at the piece of paper that says we can vote. It says that we need equality all the way around, and we need to keep pushing for it for everybody. We're not just doing it for a record, we're doing it to recognize 100 years of the ability to vote.
Emily Quinn is training for Project 19.
I started skydiving in 2011.
You teach AFF for a living. What is that?
Accelerated free fall. You teach people how to skydive.
In 2014, you were diagnosed with terminal brain cancer.
Yeah, it's something that's there forever, but granted, challenges in life are always there forever.
But you fought it, and against all odds, you're back skydiving.
Post-craniotomy, pretty much the small circle of people that were left in my life kind of looked at me like, yeah, that's never gonna happen ever again.
Weren't you afraid of trying to skydive after dealing with all of this?
Like, no, I'm totally doing this. Yeah, I was afraid at first, afraid of failure, I guess you could say. Skydiving was it was the only thing I held on to.
What were your first thoughts when you heard about Project 19?
After hearing what it was and seeing all these amazing women organizing, I was like, yes, I have to try.
So what camps will you be doing?
In November, January, March, I will definitely be participating in all of them. I've been in like other big way camps, but not a lot of head down ones, so I definitely need to attend those to work on stuff.
What are your goals while training for this?
As for head down, like I said, I don't have a lot of experience in head down big ways. Like I've done a couple camps in the past. Kind of have to like alter what I've learned so far with head up and try to use that towards head down.
And what are you focusing on?
Maintaining that foundation that a lot of these organizers of the past camps have always made sure to instill in us is the LSD, level slat doc.
What do you think your chances are of getting on this record?
Right now in this moment, not at all, because I haven't participated in the camps. I'm new to Big Way, and even though like my last camps with Head Up were recent, you still have to prove that you've still got that. You've got that strong foundation, clean, predictable skydiver.
So you're going to train as hard as you can to get on the Project 19 100-way women's world record skydive.
2020 is my goal for being, yes, on a big head down women's world record.
Have any advice for women trying to achieve their goals?
Pound out whatever goals you have and whatever achievements you want. Don't let anything hold you back.
What does the 19th Amendment mean to you?
It's opened our minds in general, not just with women, but all walks of life. We all need different ideas, but still come together with them. And I think women being able to put in their 2 cents has started it.
Erica Lopez is also training for Project 19.
Just over 1,000 jumps.
What do you do for a living, Erica?
I am a senior parachute rigger.
There aren't a lot of women who work for the company that you work for, are there?
Other than the office lady and the cleaning lady.
In 2011, you had an accident that took you out of the sport for 5 years?
I went to do a video in Hawaii on the North Shore. This was 2011. And it was really windy and I still decided to jump. And because of that choice, I ended up with a collapsed canopy, spiraling from about 100 feet into the ground.
You suffered some serious injuries from that, didn't you?
I had break in 1, 3, and 5 ribs, one of which punctured my left lung, and then I had a small break in my C7 and my spinous process. At that point, I really believed like I was done.
But you recovered and you came back to skydiving, and in the process, you quit drinking?
May would have been 2 years. I'm jumping harder than I ever have, flying harder than I ever have, and I still don't drink.
And now you're back in the sport and trying out for Project 19.
It's time for me to do what I've always wanted to do in the sport.
Do you even consider failure facing this?
There might be setbacks. Even if I don't get on it, I don't care. I'm going to be there.
How many Phase 1 camps have you attended?
I've done 4 so far, back to back. The last 4 months, I've done one every month, 2 in Elsinore and 2 in Eloy. I'm doing another one in October, hopefully.
And how big are these skydives?
We started with 8 ways to 12s and 17s, and now we're up to 20s.
What do you think your chances are of getting on the record itself?
Just as much chance as anybody else who has the safety and the awareness and the drive. And any one of us could be on it, any one of us can make a mistake, and we're just kind of here for the journey.
What's the 19th Amendment mean to you?
Man, I could not imagine being told I can't do something because I'm a woman. It just does not compute. We have every other right as anybody else. We make the decisions for our bodies, for our lives, and don't tell me no. It's amazing, and it just goes to show what can happen in 100 years, and just to imagine where we can take it in another 100 years.
Do you have any advice for other women who are chasing their dreams?
Dedicate yourself. Know that you're worth it, because life's short, man. Do what you love.
The last women's head down record in 2017 only increased the 2015 record by 2 women. It is hoped that this year of training will help women improve their skills fast enough to increase the record by 35 women this time around. This is the current 65-way women's world record, and in July of 2020, the women of Project 19 plan on smashing it with a 100-way women's head-down skydive, all to commemorate the centennial of the ratification of the 19th Amendment and women's right to vote.